Questions? Answers? You want them? We've got them in a podcast. This is the OSMcast. Hey folks, this is the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Douglas.
That's us! Well, man, there have been some changes going around here. Not least of which is where we're recording. It's a whole new room. It's a whole new house.
Yeah, I moved.
Yep, Doug and Barry have moved to a much more palatial estate in that it's a bigger house.
Yeah.
It's twice as big as our old house.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, about as big as our 2 apartments before we moved into the first house.
So it's got room, it's got space. It's still a sort of work in progress. They're still moving in. We're just recording in the room we had available that we could we could record in. So that's new. It's also been a little while since we've actually recorded. So that's cool. Also, we are a couple of other podcast news. We're actually going to be spinning off a whole new podcast we're calling the Carbuncle Chronicle, which is going to be a Final Fantasy XIV focused affair. The reason why we're doing this mostly is because we keep trying to keep up with the latest 14 trends in our Final Fantasy XIV Minute. However, we record these pretty far in advance nowadays. The events we've probably just previously talked about have been over for like months. We could talk about the Halloween event that's going on right now.
Yay!
Like, it's really cute. It's really neat. You get a little storyline in a haunted house. It's a lot of fun. By the time this comes out, it's gonna be weeks since it's ended. So that does us a no good. So we're gonna try to, and by the time we release this, we may or may not have released the first episode of the Carbuncle Chronicle. Who knows? I know that it will primarily be staffed by Doug and myself because we're still very active playing 14. Kevin may or may not hop on, depending on his whims.
I don't play 14, said the guy wearing his Free Company shirt.
Well, yeah, you don't actively play 14 right now, but you have played 14.
True.
You know, you could always...
And it's not out of the question I will be playing it again.
So it's not like you can't have opinions about things.
Yes.
But also this could be a case of Doug and I, we hang out to work on art things. We can record on art days.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're around, we can record with you. It's going to be sort of we'll figure it out as we go. Other news, we have absorbed an entirely different podcast. Which you have already actually probably noticed if you've been listening to the feeds. We have quote-unquote acquired the Chainsaw Buffet podcast, which we say acquired. It's been a very long-term acquisition. We met them years ago when we conspired for an interview with Spike Spencer. Many, many, many moons ago at an MTAC.
Oh, that was such a good interview, too.
Which, I mean, you can listen to. Go back to our Index of Awesome. We have it listed.
I was still hot.
You're still hot.
But I was really hot then.
Okay.
I was hot enough.
Anyways, so we have been knowing the John, Dylan, Charlie for many, many, many years now. And while the Chainsaw Buffet component, they haven't really recorded their own episodes in a long while, they still hop on every episode we do at a con together. John, who is now greatest living interviewer, as according to Yuri Lowenthal, he still does interviews at like every con that will let him interview people at. And he has a huge backlog that he hasn't updated in forever, and we have taken upon ourselves to say, hey, John, give us your things. We will edit them. We will release them. We want these things into the wild.
And some of them have us on them.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah.
But regardless, we have brought them into the fold because, frankly, they are literally just this side of family as far as podcasts are concerned. So, Yeah, we got them. Also, we're on iTunes again, finally. That was a journey.
Yeah, those poor ignorant fools. They let us back in.
Well, it was really weird. Like, we're hosted by Simplecast, which, folks, if you have a podcast or you need hot podcast hosting, they are like the best. They are the best podcast hosts you could ever hope for. They're very reasonably priced. Their customer support is absolutely stellar. I'm very, very happy with them. In fact, I went to them and, hey, for some reason, Apple will not put my podcast up. And they checked and went, there's no reason why this shouldn't happen. And they went through everything. And so I went back to Apple and went, why is my podcast up? They're like, oh, well, you've got these problems. I go to Simplecast and they go, no, you don't have these problems. Here, send them this that shows them there are no problems. So I did. And they went, oh, you don't have any problems. But your podcast with this name apparently had problems, maybe? Well, anyways, rename your podcast, upload that RSS feed, and once we approve that, then go back and rechange your name back to your original name. And that worked. So hey, we're now on iTunes, we are now on Google Play, we are now on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, we're on Castbox, we're on Pocket Cast, we're on everything that I can think of. So if there's something where we're not showing up, please let us know at OSMcast@gmail.com so I can fix that. Because we want to be where you're listening.
I want to be where you're listening. The starshine in your eyes. I want to be where you're listening. Somewhere over the sunrise.
Or like sunset, midday, whenever you're listening to stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to do that. That's your business. You're listening to us. I'm good.
All podcasts should be listened to either on long road trips or the toilet. No exception.
Hey, you can also listen to them in the shower.
I think I made my position clear.
Okay. Okay.
Gosh, now I wonder where my sister listens to her podcast, because I know that she and I were talking about podcasts recently.
Oh?
Yeah. She enjoys the McElroys, too. Because the McElroys are awesome.
That is true. That's true. Younger or older sister?
Older.
Okay.
That's what surprised me about it. Like, if my younger sister had said that she started listening to podcasts a lot, I wouldn't have been surprised by it. But it was my older sister who wants to live in a country cabin in the woods.
Which she succeeds at, by the way.
Which she did. She achieved that life goal.
So anyways, you can find us at OSMcast.com. Clearly, you are listening to us. But you also tell your friends, or you can also use the URLs AwesomeOnlineRadio.com or AwesomeInternetRadio.com. That will actually just send you right here to AwesomeCast.com. Our email is osmcast@gmail.com. Please leave us messages, comments, whatever you want. I will read everything that is sent to me. Anything.
Oh.
Anything.
Oh my.
Even
Basil.
things about maybe our moments of awesome.
It's a moment of awesome.
Kevin, I already know that you've got something ready to go.
I do.
What's your awesome?
I do, because I really want to talk about, well, at least for, relative to when we're recording this podcast, about a week and change back, a game came out, The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Lost Memories, that is, I went to the trouble of getting a Twitter page, from Hidetaka Suehiro, a.k.a. Swery, the guy who's probably more famous for
Deadly Premonitions?
Deadly Premonition and that D4 game that nobody played but was sort of neat, but they never made a sequel to. And that's him in a nutshell. He makes weird games that are not always the most solid in the actual game mechanics, but are weirdly memorable. Although I would have to say, if I was going to argue about technical competence, The Missing might be his best game yet. But what it is a puzzle platformer. As you attempt, as a story of two girls who are like vacationing in the woods somewhere, and then one mysteriously vanishes and the other tries to track her down, which really undersells the weirdness of this game, because pretty soon you're running into deer men getting struck by lightning and regenerating from anything that doesn't kill you outright, which becomes a game mechanic. As you sometimes use your dismemberment to solve puzzles, like, hey, you're just ahead, now you can roll down this little tunnel. Or need to stop those gears? Well, your arm just got cut off. That might stop it. Or my personal favorite, something really big and heavy hits you, your neck snaps, the world turns upside down, and so does gravity, allowing you to walk around on the roof.
That's not okay.
So, the missing is you're missing body pieces to get through the levels?
No. Now, that's what the game is mechanics-wise. The actual, because, well, honestly, talking about the story is incredibly spoilerific. Like, the story is actually would be the real selling point. I just have to say is, there is a pretty neat twist in the plot line, and it's certainly a very different main character than I've ever played in a video game before.
Don't say that. When you're telling somebody about something, don't tell them that there's a big twist. Like, just go, everything's completely straightforward. It's exactly what you think it is. Believe the lie.
Believe the lie. But I feel like people who know me will start up this game, and the first couple minutes will go, oh, I know why Kevin likes this.
So lesbians.
Yes. Except that's not why I like it.
You were supposed to play it straight.
But
except for when you can play it gay and then play it very, very gay.
That's been true. My life philosophy. Whether I not really intentional, I think this marks my third moment of Oscar in a row that actually is intensely queer related.
Well, let's just let that be the OSMcast's overall life policy, is that always play it straight unless you can play it gay, and then play it very, very gay.
That's fair.
Yeah, it served me well so far.
That is how I like things.
Speaking of how you like things, which moment of awesome?
I guess this house.
Yeah, okay, awesome house. Tell us about the house then.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it is twice the square footage of my previous house. It has a pool in the back. I scent marked the entire place with paint. Like, it's my version of peeing on everything and declaring my dominance over it is to color it how I want it colored. We're sitting in a room right now that is very, very violently aquamarine. I did not mean for it to be this violently aquamarine, but that's how it came out, and it actually works out pretty well. The bedroom, I painted this beautiful dark blue, and oh my gosh, it's just so restful.
I did help.
Yes. Basil did help, and he was very manly while he was doing it, walking around with, bare chest hair. Because
I didn't realize I was painting that night. And so I'm like, wait, I'm wearing, clothes I need to wear to work later. I don't need to get paint on them.
And I was just like, take off your clothes! Then take them off, because not painting is not an option.
So I did, and we painted, and the room looks awesome.
Well, because me and Barry decided to move Barry decided to move, and he started to box things up. And then he was disappointed in me for not continuing to box things up. But we didn't have a place that we were going to. He was just boxing things up. And so he compromised with me and said, okay, why don't we start looking at houses? And I said, okay, yeah, let's start looking at houses. I forgot what kind of personalities Barry and I have, and I forgot that looking at houses meant 2 weeks later we found the perfect house that we absolutely must have, which happened to be an old boyfriend's house.
It's mom's.
Yeah, that was an awkward moment when we knocked on the front. We saw the for sale sign out front. We knocked on the front door, and lo and behold, who but Ryan should open the front door?
Now, that said, Ryan's a really cool guy, and we're really cool with Ryan. Yay, Ryan.
He actually has a few podcasts that he does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember what they are right now.
We should find out so I can link to them.
Yes, we should. We should do that. Oh gosh, and Ryan has an amazingly charismatic personality, so I just imagine that he's really good at that. Which he also hangs out with. He does those podcasts with another ex-boyfriend of mine.
Who we're also on really good terms with, so yay for Doug X's. They tend to be overall pretty cool.
I've got excellent taste in people, like...
It's true.
Like, I've got excellent taste. Yeah, and so this house, what sold it for us was actually the master bathroom. They, like, took out another room. They converted what was the master closet, a walk-in closet, and expanded the master bedroom, and they tiled it all in, so it's got this really, like, swank shower, and once my husband saw that, he couldn't live without it. And considering that our second top, like, the house that was the runner-up to this house, like, I had all these plans about how, like, it had these two small bathrooms that were right next to each other, and I was going, oh, we could knock this wall out and we can make them, but it was going to be huge renovation plans. Whereas this house was exactly the way we wanted it right off the get-go. We've got 3 ovens. I can't imagine any reason why we would ever need 3 ovens, but we have 3 ovens.
Thanksgiving? I don't know, if you got everyone over and had Barry cook.
I'm not going to do that.
But,
the most I can think of is if Barry is roasting and I start baking.
Now, that said, I know that my wife and wonderful editor Anna has all sorts of ideas to make use of 3 ovens. So...
Well, it's got a very spacious and nice kitchen, an extreme master bathroom. She also knocked out another, like a whole bedroom, and turned it into a closet for the master bedroom. You know, because she took out one of the bathrooms already. So this is going to be. So now that what was the smallest room in the house is now the closet for the master bedroom, and oh my gosh, It's so big, I'm going to put like a wing chair and just plop it right in the middle of the room. Like, so I'll have a closet, I'll have a chair in my closet. As we were sitting to record this, Basil was at this very podcast, Basil was actually suggesting that we should record it in the closet, but I was not going to record in the closet. You can't keep baby in the closet.
And we're all out of the closet here.
Look, it's not my fault. It's full of clothes, and it's really good dampening material for audio waves.
Although, man, you could actually live in your closet. It's that spacious.
Well, I think it's maybe a little bit smaller than this room that we're in right now, but it's room size. And that's pretty fabulous.
This room we're now is pretty close to like the amount of personal space I have in my house.
Yeah.
So Awesome Central lives here now, and it's a great house. It's a good house.
It is.
I'm very excited to see we actually have a whole art studio space now.
Yes.
Where Doug and I are going to work on stuff.
That's not set up. Right now, that's the room with the most boxes in it, just because it's been comparatively a low priority, but...
Yeah. But yeah, my initial impression was, oh, there's another room here. Oh, there's another room here. And so on.
The best part, and it's really sad that you all will never get to experience this. And I apologize.
Well, unless you're listening to this and know us in real life and hang out with us, then
well,
you might.
In that case, it's mostly, Anna's already done it, too, was when we came in, when we were feeding their cat, Gwendolyn, while Doug and Bear were up at Disney World.
Oh gosh, this has just been like the craziest...
Yeah.
So we went to England, and then we came back, and then we bought a house and moved, and then we went to Disney World, and that has been our September.
And
September and October.
And now we're in October, and the Hamicon Minicon's about to come up, which we gotta get stuff ready for.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why we do our podcasting when we get it, when the chances arise.
And that's fine, and we record in advance, because lately we've been getting them out like every week.
Yeah.
We've been doing an actual episode, one of John's interviews, actual episode, one of John's interviews. Like, the next episode's going to come up, which you've already listened to, was our MomoCon episode we did about the indie games, which we recorded back during MomoCon. Yeah. This one we went after that. So this one actually will be, while we're recording this in October, it'll be in November when this one comes out.
Yeah, I need to listen to that podcast. I need to remember what games I liked.
So yeah. But, alright, my moment of awesome is, I got a twofer. So let's knock them out real quick. First one, Dragalia Lost. It's the new gacha game on your mobile phones by Cygames and Nintendo, which is kind of weird. I think Nintendo, after tasting that sweet, sweet gacha money with Fire Emblem on phones, I think they went to the Grand Masters of gacha games, Cygames, which makes things like Grand Blue Fantasy. And they went, hey, let's make a mobile game together. And I think Cygames went, okay, let's make some money.
God willing, one day they'll wheel a big wheel of money over to Mappa again and say, hey, make us a Dragalia Lost anime.
They could. It's about this prince who discovers that he's making pacts with dragons. So you get to play as a person and then you can Super Saiyan up into a dragon. Then play it as a dragon for a little bit, killing stuff. It's kind of fun. It's sort of an action RPG versus a traditional RPG. It plays actually not dissimilarly to the DS Zelda games. So you're sort of moving your character around and swiping on the screen until you tap it to like attack stuff.
Yeah.
It works out pretty well. You are benefited with a larger screen versus a smaller screen because it gives you more room to work with. But it's fun. You level up characters. You've got your temples. I mean, it's a gacha game for sure. Musically, it's good. It's all music by Daoko. Like, I think they just bought licenses to her albums, and it's either with her singing or without her singing, but it's the same music. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize just that all of it was her music until I started randomly listening to her songs on Spotify. They just started showing up in my playlists, and I'm like, this is from Dragalia. This is from Dragalia. Like, they didn't even change anything, really. Wow, okay, let me listen to her album. This song is also from Dragalia. So is this one. Did they just buy her album? Is that what they did? I mean, it's Cygames. I mean, Cinderella Step was one of the ending themes to the newer Rage of Bahamut game.
Yeah.
Or anime, based off the game. And it's one of the primary songs they use in Dragalia.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Now, it kind of crossed my mind, but it seems like with most Cygames stuff, I wonder if any Rage of Bahamut characters will appear in it.
I mean, there's a Jeanne d'Arc already as a dragon lady. So if you want the best version of Jeanne of Arc, guess what? It's in Dragalia, Kevin. Not Fate, Dragalia.
I will disagree, but I've not played Dragalia, so I'll reserve judgment.
Okay. Then my second one is a recommendation for another podcast, the Third Impact Anime Podcast. You may or may not have heard my voice because I did a stupid promo for them for literally no good reason, other than I wanted to. But there are folks, Austin and Tobias and their friends up north, at least north of us. I think they're in the Carolinas. And they do good stuff. I know they did Daryl Surratt a solid, and he was able to crash in their hotel room for AWA, which was awesome of them, so he didn't have to pay for an entire hotel room by himself, which is not cheap.
Yeah.
And they do good with podcasts. Like, they've got a whole fleet of people who do panels and podcasts with them. I've totally offered my services if they ever need it, which I think they're going to take me up on. But frankly, they don't need me. They've got like 7 or 8 folks they pull from. They've got a whole crew.
Yeah, if you're at an anime con and you see anything Third Impact anime, there are much worse ways you can spend your time than checking out their panels.
Like, I am biased. They have been, they are panelists this past Hamacon. They were a feature panelist, and they were amazing. But that's fine. I don't care. This is our podcast. We can be biased. And you should listen to them. You can find them at thirdimpactanime.wordpress.com. Y'all should get a real URL. Also, speaking of the podcast, real quick, Akihabara Renditions are our friends Drew and Richard, who are doing podcasts again on occasion.
Oh, they're back.
They are back, but they don't have an RSS feed. Drew, Richard, get your stupid selves an RSS feed. so I can plug you into my phone so I can listen to you easily.
Maybe you need to get them an RSS feed. Maybe you, as the guy who knows how to do that, ought to do that.
Well, I don't have access to their web stuff.
Well, then you need to give that to you then.
Maybe they do.
And you need to acquire them, like
Right.
you acquired the Chainsaw today.
Maybe I'll talk to Drew about that. Maybe we will. That was also one of our questions for later, and that was going to be one of my answers. So we'll get back to that later. Speaking of which, the topic for this one is we were going to do something more Halloween themed, but then I realized that this really is going to release in November after Halloween is over.
Yeah.
So bump it. I'm going to save that Halloween plans for next year. And this time we're just doing a general question and answer episode. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some questions and some answers. It's going to be fun. We'll be right back. This is the OSMcast.
ことが平凡な世界への調べとなる幾千の争いに
Alright, so now we are back. This is the OSMcast. You're listening to us. And we have questions.
I have all kinds of questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I pretty much know everything. It's cool.
That's fine. Okay. Since this comes from Third Impact Anime. Ha! That was not expected. Well, I just checked Twitter and they were the first one to come up. I was surprised. Anyway, since they recently did their picks, what are some of our favorite Spookies animes?
Ooh. Actually, my number one favorite horror anime is actually pretty easy. That's the Laughing Target, the one-shot OAV. It's based on Rumiko Takahashi manga. And honestly, I think when horror comic Rumiko Takahashi, I think is seriously underrated. Like when she wants to write a horror story. In fact, there's a story she wrote that was not adapted to anime that I think is even creepier. But that's Laughing Target. About a guy who's got an arranged marriage, and of course he likes another girl, but the arranged marriage girl is kind of creepy and spooky, and there might be something up there. I think it's legitimately scary. I don't even know where you'd find it anymore. Internet. But
Doug, what's your favorite Spookies animes?
Well, first of all, there's Tales of Vesperia.
Truly the spookiest anime.
It's got some spooky moments in it.
Also, all right.
That's where the tales came out.
Since they are specific, well, clearly this is the Vesperia movie, First Strike, that, if I remember correctly, Doug was not that enthralled with.
Well, okay, yeah.
Maybe the Spookums is how spooky it is without a decent version of Raven in the game.
Gotta have Raven. Raven.
All right. So, anyways, besides Tales of Vesperia,
besides Tales of Vesperia, Sunday Without God was good. That has some spooky elements to it. I was not too pleased with the village of Nanaka. Like, that was not as spooky as I had hoped it would be. Let's see. Would you consider From the New World to be a spooky anime? I mean,
there are some horrific elements
there are some
to
pretty horrific elements to it, but I'm not sure that it counts as a spooky anime.
Yeah.
Ghost Dogs was trash. Ghost Dogs was utter trash. I kept watching that. I watched the whole goddamn thing, waiting for the Ghost Dogs. And at the very last episode, I found out that the main characters were the Ghost Dogs.
Well, yeah. The real Ghost Dogs are their friends who made along the way.
And incidentally, they finally had Ghost Dogs. But I don't even care about spoiling it. It was so bad.
Well, I mean, there's, Perfect Blue is creepy as hell.
it's spooky, but it's more of a thriller than more of a Halloween-based I mean, I'm always down for some D.
Yeah.
As in
Good
Vampire
one.
Hunter D.
We know what you meant, Basil.
Now, my favorite one, my pick is super easy. That is Phantom Quest Corps, which is an old Madhouse 4-part OAV series.
Yeah.
That was actually going to be the episode we were going to do, but again, this is going to be releasing in November, so...
I haven't thought about it in a long time. And in retrospect, it almost is sort of a ripoff on Ghost Sweeper Mikami, but I let it slide because it works pretty well.
I think it also came out right before Ghost Sweeper Mikami.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that anime that came out in the 90s? I loved it at the time. It was set in a high school.
Oh.
Like, 13 ghosts of blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
like
blah,
the
blah.
ones with like there was like the weird little Catholic kid and the
Yeah, the Catholic kid
Shinto
was...
girl and the Buddhist guy.
Yeah.
And they had spooky adventures.
Yeah, they had spooky adventures.
I don't know what that's called either, but you just brought it back into my head.
That one was great. That is what you need to watch for your Halloween.
Yeah, I don't know.
feels.
I found that eternally amusing that the Shinto and Buddhist kid seemed to have actual spiritual powers, and the Catholic kid, he was Catholic, but other than that, he got nothing.
No, he was just Catholic.
And there was ghosts at the school, and at first they were scary, and then they were kind of their friends, and...
Well, I think by the end of the okay, if I remember correctly, the way that show went down is the beginning half of the show is they introduce a new monster of the week.
Yeah.
Up until the maximum number of ghosts in the school, which is in the title, so it's not a surprise. And one by one, by the end of each show, they uncover the mystery of how this ghost became a ghost, or what their sad story was, and now they're friends.
Yeah, we watched the hell out of that back in the Haas days, whatever that was.
Well, there's also the Book of Friends, which...
I don't think I've seen that one, but...
You haven't seen the Book of Friends?
No.
Do you mean Natsume's Book of Friends?
Yeah, Natsume's Book of Friends.
Yeah, I don't think I have not seen that.
Natsume's Book of Friends is... It's not strictly a Halloween time one. It goes through all of the seasons. But oh my god, that show is love. That show is the best show ever made, and Japan will continue to make seasons of it because it's endless good.
Well, there is, of course, the Cowboy Bebop movie, which is literally set at Halloween. Once again, that's really the content of the movie is more of an action thriller, but there is like a big Halloween parade sequence. And when we watched that, the time when that movie was shiny and new, I bore a weird resemblance to the villain of the film.
Yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
There is also the Cowboy Bebop movie.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
Cowboy Bebop movie.
Pay attention, Basil!
God, you were talking about it, my brain just skipped because I was looking at our next set of questions. And I'm thinking man, it sounds like Cowboy Bebop. Man, Cowboy Bebop movie was really good. It was also set during Halloween.
Yeah. Little Witch Academia, the Enchanted Parade, is not strictly a Halloween thing, but it sort of feels like one. In a lighter, happier, fun for the whole family kind of way.
All right, so our next question is from Nico Screamer. Nico from MTAC and Culture Smash? Anyways, he says, surely consuming the Chains of a Fate is not the end of the awesome path of conquest. So what's next?
The world?
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know about the world, man, or even the worldo.
I really want to get the McElroys.
Okay, that's like Endgame is McElroy's.
That's a get. That's a get that's doable.
Watch your ass, boys. We're coming.
These guys that are wildly more successful than we are. Yeah, I think we should just acquire them.
Yeah, that should be easy.
He's got these three brothers who have set up a media empire.
It is true.
Yeah, let's just get them.
Why, just recently, and of course, again, this is sort of timely, but whatever. Their hometown is Huntington in West Virginia, and they have a safety city where it's like a little miniature city where you can go in little go-karts and learn the rules of rules of the road.
Yeah, we have one of those,
We do. I was there when I was a kid. And I'm sure we all were. But they wanted to get some special needs vehicles. At least one. And the McElroys noticed it, so they posted online, hey, they're trying to get the special needs vehicle. Y'all should donate. And I'll apologize for all our bad squeakiness. This is why we take breaks, Kevin. That's why I take breaks. Anyways, they went, hey, y'all should donate. I think now they're going for 2 cars. Because they blew through the goal for the first car super fast.
Cool.
Nice.
In like a day. Because the McElroys tweeted at them. So, yeah, they have powers. Powers beyond our wildest imaginings. Akihabara Renditions, True Richard, hit us up. That's fine. We're becoming a network now. So, because we're going to have at least 2 podcasts under our belts. And secretly, I got plans for a third one. That one's way in the future. You'll find that one out later if we ever do it.
We will combine our powers and rule Anna Twitter as father and son podcasts.
Third Impact, I think we're starting to form some sort of weird alliance. So that's nice because I'm now cross-posting our episodes to their community page. Clearly, I am very much endorsing them. I like them a lot. So
They're
who
cool
knows?
People.
We'll get some going on with there. But I think we're not really acquiring things like to acquire things. We know that John, Charlie, Dylan do awesome things and they need an outlet and we were willing to be that outlet for them. All right. Now, speaking of Third Impact Anime, I'd also posted the request for questions on their Facebook community, and I actually got questions from them. Here's from Austin. Which kind of dere is Basil according to Doug and Kevin?
You're just...
That's not how the question read, if I remember correctly.
It was, according to Anna and Kevin, Anna's not here. She'll be editing this.
Yeah, the point is that they didn't want my opinion, so I'm staying out of it.
I don't know if they don't realize who want your opinion.
I know, right? So I'm staying out of it. I'm huffy.
Basil's just dere. He's just straight up dere.
That is true.
He's adorable. Wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, that's accurate. Calvin is clearly the cool dere. He is a cool cucumber.
But on the inside, I'm a soft little squishy girl who just wants to be loved.
Yeah. And Doug is currently just being tsundere, but Doug, I think Doug is also a dere.
I'm a kami dere. I require that you respect that I am your god now.
All right. Question number 2. What is the most difficult thing about running a convention? Everything. Well, I mean, honestly, right now it's deadlines and getting our deadlines done. Like, running a convention is as much about the pre-work as it is the actual running of the event. And I guarantee you right now, for me, personally, other people, they have to actually really put out fires during the event. But by and large, it's all the pre-planning. It's all the getting things ready together ahead of time. Getting all your I's dotted, your T's crossed.
Making sure there's less things to catch fire so
Right.
that the other people have a less difficult time.
That is the really big trick. 3. Which guest do you want to get on the podcast the most, and why is it Austin from Third Impact Anime? It's because you're so adorable, but you gotta learn to show Doug some respect and accept him as your Lord and Savior. That is clearly important.
Yeah, I mean, if this is pie in the... Well, okay, maybe I could go higher in the sky with my pie, but I'd like anyone from the cast of Carmilla, the web series. It's not at all anime related, but...
Well, we're not strictly... We tend to be an anime podcast.
Yeah, not anime or game related, but... and I'm the only one who watches that web series, and I just kind of want to geek out with them a little bit, but that's...
I really want to get Joe J. Thomas on the show.
Is that the voice actor for Raven from Tales of Vesperia?
Yes, it is.
Cool. I just want people, the audience, to also know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would go like, I voiced who? When now?
It would be amazing. It would be the best interview ever.
All right, next up is from an Adam Dane who asks, got any grapes?
No, actually, I have plums, I have bananas, pears, but I don't have any grapes.
I believe I have some grapes at home, but
all right,
none at the moment.
Some cursory Googling has told me that I think this is some sort of meme joke thing that we're clearly old and not wise to.
Well, yeah.
But, so you're getting actual answers here. No, I don't.
Does he mean sour grapes?
No, it looks like it's some sort of duck thing.
Are you sure it's not sour grapes from Teen Titans Go?
No, some guy said, well, do they talk about lemonade?
Yes.
Because Ryan McGinty replied to him with saying, no, they just sell lemonade. So, I don't know. Anyway, Ryan also asks, Porg or Ewok?
Ooh. That's a hard one.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. So what is it?
It's Porg. Porg all the way.
Okay.
Like, Ewoks are annoying.
Like, when I was a kid, right, when Star Wars was a thing for me growing up, I absolutely loved The Last Jedi. I had tons of Ewok-related toys. I watched the Ewok cartoon because I was like 7 or 8 at the time.
Did you watch the spin-off Ewok movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I was Ewok crazy, but when I grew up, I put away childish things, and now I'm a pro-Porg person.
Well, that's the thing, is that the Ewoks were... Okay, Ewoks and Porg were both clearly shoehorned into the movie to make cute, fluffy toys for kids.
Yeah.
The Ewoks, however, were a much, much worse offense of this, because they were supposed to be the race that Chewbacca is.
Well, on like the earliest drafts of the movie, that is being Wookiees, not Ewoks.
Yeah, it was they were supposed to be Wookiees. And
I believe the rationality was, well, we'd seen that Chewbacca was actually really intelligent, really tech savvy, and that he wasn't like the, mighty savage kind of character, really. And they wanted low tech to beat high tech in the little battle there.
So that's why they did cute, fluffy teddy bears.
And I feel like I have to defend Ewoks because Ewoks eat people. Ewoks eat people. They're murder bears. They were I bet they ate all those stormtroopers afterwards at the party. They were serving up stormtrooper.
Well, still, the Porgs are just harmless animals that just happen to be around.
That, and I always wanted to, Star Wars role-playing game. No one ever let me, but I always wanted to play a Force-sensitive Ewok. Just so I could, someone pissed me off, I could be like, yep, and crush their throats.
So, and also Porgs, I believe, they're puffer?
Yeah, they're basically puffins.
They're sort of like puffins, yeah.
Well, I believe the island that they shot all the Luke Skywalker race stuff, that island, was actually like a refuge for puffins. And they were so prolific, and they were so in every single shot, they had to either spend millions in CGing them away, but then the director was like, you know what? No, screw it. Let's make an alien race of cute little creatures.
Oh my god.
That look kind of like them, but not. And that's where Porgs came from.
They really are space puffins.
Yes, they are. That's why Porgs existed. It was literally they weren't originally planned in the film, but they needed something to go there. Because all these puffins were there.
Yeah, someone was like, oh, we can cash in on this. We can make cute little animal pet mascots,
And it worked. And Porgs are great. I'm totally pro Porg. I am pro Ewok. But I was pro Ewok younger. Now I'm an older. It's kind of like how I used Sailor, Jupiter was my favorite Sailor Senshi growing up. But now I'm more of a Sailor Venus kind of guy. People grow. People change. Sometimes you like Ewoks. Sometimes you like Porgs. It's fine.
I still kind of like the Ewoks. But I can't really hate Porgs either. The Porgs are great.
All right. So, Tobias asks many things. All right, Tobias, put you on pause. Come back to you. Let's go back to Moo Squire. Subs or dubs? Subs.
Yeah. Now, in the era of easy access to dual language audio, I I will sometimes go back and watch dubs of things, particularly if I know the cast has voice actors I actually like, met in real life and think are cool. Yeah, I will usually, my general guideline is I almost always watch any movie or TV show in its original language if I can.
Well, I'll tell you what, Funimation, if you give me my dream of an entire Micah Solusod voice-acted anime, where Micah does all the voices for everything.
Oh, I really want Micah to do all the voices in that one video game now. It doesn't actually have any voice acting, but it's just Monica. It's just Micah.
Doki Doki Literature Club?
Yes.
You want the just Micah version of Doki Doki Literature Club?
I want the just Micah version of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Alright, Bandai, if you're hearing this, Tales of Hesperia, Micah does everything.
No!
That's the true definitive edition.
I need J.J. Thomas! I need him back!
Alright, so subs or dubs?
Okay, this is actually... I'm actually having a harder time with this question than you might think. There was a time in my life when I was a dumb teenager, and I would have said dubs, hand down, because I didn't speak Japanese, and I was a dumb teenager. But then I grew up into a more dumb teenager, and I would have insisted on subtitles only, and all throughout my 20s, I would have insisted on, subtitles are the way to go. But, I'm sitting here now in my 30s, and I don't really want to have to always read the screen to catch every little detail. Sometimes I would like to just be able to ambient hear thing. And yes, I know I should just learn Japanese. And that's kind of what I did.
And yeah, you probably know Japanese. I know you're at least probably about as familiar with Japanese as I am, at least.
I can watch a show without subtitles, but I'm gonna get more enjoyment out of it if, I have the subtitles. Like, the way I get the most enjoyment out of a show is watching it subtitled so that I can sit there and compare what I'm hearing to what the translation is. Because a lot of times that clues you into foreshadowing that's going on, or just, knowing that they said this thing when they could have said this, and this implies that the cultural context is blah.
Right.
And that's all fascinating is all. But it is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah.
But I sometimes just turn on the dubs and just don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's some stuff, the classic back in the day example of the Cowboy Bebop dubs is really good. That was one of the first good dubs I heard.
Well, dubs have just generally better now than they were. The approach to how to subtitle something, I don't want to give the impression that the voice actors in the 90s were bad, because that's not true. Plenty of them were good, but a lot of them were kind of miscast.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they generally have a better understanding of how to subtitle stuff these days. And you get a better result. Yeah,
and I think there was definitely some in the early days of dubs. There was a lot of just get it out there. You did your take. Do the next line. I think they put a little more care and effort into it these days.
Well, I think
most of the time.
Back in the day, nowadays, Funimation, they own their own recording studio.
Yeah, they've got,
and they can bring people into their recording studios, and they can record as long as they want.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, all these companies, they had to rent out time in recording studios, and that's not cheap. So they only had time to do 1 or 2 takes per person.
And there's also, in the 1990s, this huge stigma against any sort of animated medium, that animated was for kids in the United States. And at least now they seem to recognize that it's at least for teenagers. So we've got that level of sophistication going for us.
That being said, dubs are subs. Hey, Sentai Filmworks, if you're listening, you do one more pass with your translator, or give your voice actors one more take. Just saying.
All right. Moose Squire also asks, why do they call it taking a dump and not leaving a dump?
Mind blown.
That's a good question.
The world may never know. Anyway, so Tobias asks, Has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to look more like? Yes.
What?
The question was, has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes with the 4 and the thing back when that was the correct way, you know, sometimes.
So Tobias asks, y'all watching anything from this season? Y'all not watching anything from the season? I haven't watched a goddamn thing yet from this season, but I'm going to.
Yeah, I've watched at least an episode of most everything from this season. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's one or two things I looked at and went, oh, that's not for me, real quick. But I watched most of everything, at least one episode.
I know I want to watch Gridman at least at some point.
You do want to watch Gridman.
I know I want to watch Gridman.
You might want to watch Gridman.
There's been a couple that there's been a couple that you have said that I should watch, and I am interested in that. I've just, been going to England and moving, and then going to Disney World, and now I'm getting ready to put on an anime convention, and then I'm going to go to Vegas. So this season, while it may have some great stuff, I haven't really had the time to.
You and your restless wanderings about the earth.
I know.
All right, number 2, top 10 anime betrayals. All right, I'm saving that one for an actual episode. I'm saving that one for an actual episode.
I've got a couple in mind just right away, but
all right. Well, that one we'll table. Maybe that'll be the next episode.
That could be an episode.
That could be an episode. All right. Number 3. What upcoming anime are you looking forward to? All the good ones.
All the good ones.
All the good ones.
I'm really looking forward to the Yuri on Ice movie. I need it deep in my soul.
I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff, in all honesty, but I was thinking about it yesterday and earlier today, but sometime next year there's going to be another season of Simpo Gear, and I love Simpo Gear. I don't get much chance to talk about it on this podcast.
I know there's that new Imaishi Trigger thing that I'm forgetting the name of.
That, Pleroma?
Yeah, something like that. I'm excited for that.
No, it's not. Well, I was close, but I don't think that's the actual name.
I'm looking forward to Otter Cops or whatever the new Ikehara thing is.
Saza something. I think it's actually about Kappa now. I don't know, but the cops are supporting characters. I don't know. It's Ikuhara. It'll be weird. It'll be confusing, and we'll probably love it.
Yeah. I probably will.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. It's going to be carefully. This question's just for you. Not really. Answer carefully. Which is your favorite McElroy brother?
The best McElroy. Which one eats the amiibos?
Griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin eats the amiibos.
It's Griffin. I am not the huge McElroy fan, but I've learned to love Griffin's amiibo eating shenanigans because I frequently see them on the pain train. And his instilling in me a deep fear of virtual reality games.
Mine's Justin.
I thought this question was just for Kevin.
No, that was me joking. No, it's for all of us.
Oh, okay. Because you said it was just for Kevin, and I have an answer.
No, I was doing that to mess with Kevin because he's not as McElroy, absorbed as we are.
Okay. But just so you know, you told a mistruth.
Well, I apologize for my mistruth. Who's your favorite McElroy?
The middleist Kevin.
So Travis?
Yes, Travis.
The middleist Kevin?
I'm sorry, I was busy thinking about you, Kevin. The middleist brother. The middleist brother. As a middleist brother myself, I gotta show some middleist loyalty.
Well, I mean, honestly, Justin's the oldest, so... And none of us did the secret fourth McElroy who cannot talk, which I think is a joke, but anyways... Justin was one of the things where I originally started listening to My Brother, Me and stuff, and I thought that my favorite brother was Griffin.
Yeah, and everybody thinks that.
Everyone thinks that. It may be, for a lot of people, it's still true. So, Kevin, your feelings are not, denied or anything.
Yeah.
But, listening to realizing more and more, oh, geez, there are some parts about me that are kind of Travis-y, But there's a lot of me that's Justin-y. And I've realized more and more that, I really think I relate and I think I enjoy Justin the most. Especially for their Adventure Zone characters. Like his latest character, Duck Newton, is just... he is great. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. If Crunchyroll /Verve /High Dive, that's a trick. Crunchyroll and Verve are the same thing. Picked up one thing of your choice, what would it be? Another season of the My Brother and Me show.
Yes.
The most recent season of Senfo Gear before the new season comes out in Japan.
That'd be really nice. Honestly, I would love to see things like, again, Phantom Quest Core.
Yeah.
Things that no longer have any sort of release at all. I would love to be able to just stream that or, give a chance, even if I can't get like another Blu-ray release or like a remaster of it, my DVD's fine.
Yeah.
I've got it, but I would love to stream so other people can see it legally.
I do have to say, with switching out Funimation for High Dive seems to consistently get about one show a season I actually want to watch. But they've got a bunch of old shows that are pretty good. That is like part of their back library that I'm assuming are things Sentai owns rights to. When you get like your Dunbines and your Idians and your Legend of Galactic Heroes is.
So, real quick, what we're talking about here is that early November, so possibly by the time this episode releases, nowadays, back in the day, Funimation and Crunchyroll made an alliance where they would share resources, and Crunchyroll could focus on subtitling things, and Funimation could focus on dubbing things, and on Verve, you could own both. Well, and now, AT&T owns Crunchyroll, and Sony owns Funimation, and they no longer friends no more, or at least not like they used to be. And so they're breaking up, and Funimation's leaving Verve, and they're re-separating. Some things will stick around, like Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia. Probably Yuri on Ice. I'm sure that, that'll be on both streaming services. But, in the future, stuff which is something that I think just recently hit Crunchyroll, Slayers, will probably go back to Funimation. But High Dive is noticing, hey, they're missing an anime spot. Hey, Crunchyroll. Hey, High Dive here. Hey, Sentai Filmworks here. You want to team up? We'll team up. So they're teaming up. And now, if you're on Verve, you'll now also get Crunchyroll and High Dive. Which is cool, because I want to watch that review Starlight show.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to pay extra for it, so now I don't.
Yeah.
Good job, High Dive.
Yeah, I like to review Starlight. And that might have one of my top 10 anime betrayals.
Alright, so, from an attendee point of view, what kind of panels catch your eyes at cons? What kind of content would you like to see someone, totally not me, present?
You go to panels that you're not doing yourself at cons?
Yes, it's hard, because sometimes you do a lot of panels. But, honestly, for me, it's hard, because I want to say things that I'm interested in, that you're interested in. And I can't expect that. And so when I usually look at things when I look at the program guides, whatever, or titles, or, schedules, I see things that I am interested in. And you just gotta know what I like, which you don't. So do what you do like. Do stuff you're passionate about, because otherwise it's going to sound like crap, because you don't actually care about it.
I guess I personally kind of, it's sort of what we do, but kind of lean towards educational panels, just who the hell these people are anyways, or, any kind of discussion about older anime the kids don't know about these days, that they should.
I myself kind of tend to lean toward Japanese cultural panels and workshop panels. I kind of don't really want to hear about you gush about your favorite thing that was on this season. I kind of want to hear about how it was done, how is it put together and made, and that's more industry side of stuff.
My brain was trying to look for the word industry. More industry related panels are good.
Whereas I don't really care about being the Caesar or not, but I kind of do feel like if it's a subject that you do need a subject that you can gush about. Like, there has to be a good energy level there.
Yeah.
So it's got to be stuff that you are interested in putting on. Otherwise, it's got to be something that you like so much or want to talk about so much that you want to tell other people about.
Yeah, like a cultural panel or a workshop panel about how it's done.
Or if you've just found this most horrible anime that apparently no one on Earth knows about, and you just have to share how bad it is. That's always fun. But be warned, we've seen most of them at this point.
Alright, so, what anime has such a ridiculous premise that you can't even think about forcing yourself to watch it? It's wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon. It is wrong. There is no question. It is wrong.
I think that, the spirit of the question, conceptually, that is too weird. Because, boy, I watched some weird-ass anime. Like, I would have argued that there's not an anime so weird you might not be able to sell me on it. But, yeah, it's wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon. I mean, that show could be great, but just the title is like, yeah, no, it's wrong. Okay, I'll go watch something else now. But, because, I watched all of Darling in the Franxx, and that show was insane.
Not in a good way.
No.
Fuck Darling in the Franxx.
I mean, it's real, and I don't know, much more mundane anime has turned me off way fast. Like, more mundane concepts have turned me off way faster. But,
if they had even made the anime, look, giant robots because Japan needs babies, that would have been cooler than what they did.
Well, okay, I have refused to watch the Conception anime at all this season, because I played the game, and it left me with a massive guilt complex at, here you are, I don't like any of these girls. I'm talking to them in this game so they'll like me, so we can hold hands, think of Jesus, and make star babies. Although I understand in this anime they just make babies by banging. I don't know. But I'm not gonna watch that. I've got issues with Conception.
Now, speaking of role-playing games, Tobias' last question, and since I know y'all are Squeenix nerds, what is your number one JRPG of all time, and why is it a controversial choice?
I know at least two of our answers are not going to be Square Enix.
Mine is, so y'all go.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've said before in the past, it's Phantasy Star 4 is my favorite JRPG. Other than everyone looks at me weird whenever I say that, I'm not sure why it's a controversial choice. Maybe it's because everything Phantasy Star, in my opinion, went super downhill after that, when they decided to put online after the name.
Well, I know recently there was a Retronauts that actually talked to some of the creators of Phantasy Stars 1 through 4, and for them, Phantasy Star 4 is like the culmination. Like, that is the final chapter of Phantasy Star, and the online is sort of a different thing. And they've also said that if you want a new Phantasy Star, make it yourself. So
yeah, I feel like that's probably going to come from Zeboyd Games or someone like that, because the Cosmic Star Heroine guys, because they seem to have a fondness for that style of JRPG.
All right, Doug, what's your favorite JRPG?
What do you think?
Final Fantasy VI?
Digimon Data Squad?
No, it's Tales of Vesperia.
Why is it so controversial?
Probably because it's not a Square Enix title. It's a Namco Bandai title. And a lot of people would even, in the United States, would even argue that it's not even the best Tales of game, but they're wrong. It is the best Tales of game. Thank you very much.
I played all the way through it. I enjoyed it.
Well, there are certain elements about it that other
Tales of games?
Yeah, that other Tales of games did better. Like, almost every element was done better somewhere in a different Tales game. But I feel that everything was done, like, okay, when you have a game that scores, like, a number 1, a bunch of 1s, and then a whole bunch of, like, whatever the lowest ranking is. Like gold star here and like black star over here. And then you have this other thing that's number 2. But it's number 2 in every category. It just makes for a much better game overall. It has a better overall experience. Also, Tales of Vesperia surprised me, and that's not something that's easy to do. Having played as many RPGs as I have, having watched as much anime, read as many books, watched as much movie, it's pretty hard for a story to surprise me. Like, I usually see a lot of twists coming, and Vesperia didn't.
It played it straight. The Tales of Vesperia plays it straight.
Yeah, it doesn't... It's exactly what you expect.
Exactly. So my favorite JRPG of all time is the correct answer, and that's Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, and that's not controversial because that's pretty much the correct answer.
There's a lot of people, I can't even fault that as an answer. I mean, it's not my personal choice, but no, there's nothing wrong with Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger's great. But
Chrono Trigger is also made by, like, the ultimate dream team of Sakaguchi and Hori. The masterminds between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, with character designs by Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest. Some of the music was done by Uematsu, and the other one was by, my brain is blanking on the other composer.
Yasunori guy, or...
yeah.
I forgot the rest of
Mitsuda?
Name. But, it's an excellent game.
It's an amazing soundtrack. It's a wonderful story. They took, 2 or 3 years to make it in a video game generation where all games were made in about a year. So, they took their time on it. Apparently they took... the first year development was just them figuring stuff out. It's a game where there's, very little cruft. It's one of the first games to really make it a thing where there were no real actual random battles. Everything was figured out. It's the closest thing there is to, a perfect game that holds up even now. Everyone should play it. Even on Steam now, it's finally not sucky. Because the game's so good that Square's like, ooh, we're so sure. Okay, we slapped our mobile version on Steam and thought y'all wouldn't care. Y'all cared. So they went back over 5 or 6 patches and fixed everything.
Yeah.
So it's now, even that version's very playable. The DS version is absolutely stellar. It's an amazing game. Everyone should go play it. And there's no controversy. I am the arbiter of correctness, and this is the best.
The only controversy is that the sequel only inherited the awesome soundtrack.
Well, some people will argue that, I say some people, but does anybody ever actually argue that Secret of Mana was better, or just that they liked it better?
I thought you were going to say Chrono Cross, so...
No, nobody argues that Chrono Cross was better.
That's the actual sequel.
I like Chrono Cross, but other Square games that aren't mainline Final Fantasies, I think a lot of people also tend to say that Secret of Mana was good, but I'm not so sure that they say it was better than Chrono Trigger.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it's better than Chrono Trigger. I don't think it's better than Chrono Trigger.
Well, it's also a case of action RPG versus turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, that's different things.
Yeah, I have, wistfully demanded menus from modern RPGs, and they don't always deliver. But
Secret of Mana definitely had its weird share of interestingness, whereas Chrono Trigger is way more. It's the most polished thing I've ever seen, I think, from that time period.
Yeah.
All right, those are our questions. So thank you, everyone who sent them to us. It was a lot of fun answering them. And I don't know why you park in a driveway and drive on a parkway. Going back to that Mood Guy's dumping question.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. This has been a production of the OSMcast. Edited by our wonderful editor, Anna. Theme songs by DJ Inabito. You can find his stuff at djinabito.com. He also does weekly streams nowadays, which is cool. Our other halves now, John, our wonderful interview host, he does a thing called These Are Video Games. I believe you can find it at some variation of his Twitter for links to that. Doug has a Redbubble, which you can find at redbubble.com/umitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Which, we may eventually even have some OSMcast swag on there for you to buy. But there currently are all sorts of neat shirts and cell phone cases and different things that you can purchase. Definitely take a look at that. I'm on Twitter at It's Basil Time. Kevin's on Twitter at Twitless_Kevin. You can find us overall on Twitter at OSMcast, where we post all the episodes as we release them. Again, you can find us at OSMcast.com. We are now on everything. If you do use things that would allow us to leave us reviews, please do. 5 stars would be amazing. That's how people will be able to find us. And if you like us, you want other people to find us, straight up tell them about us. Or, again, leave us good reviews. 5 stars is always wonderful. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
This is the OSMcast.
A lot of people consider me the face of the OSMcast. That is true. Once again, I'll reiterate, I'm the one that's blamed for the godless North doesn't know anything about pizza.
Even though you never said it.
I never said it, but I'm blamed for it.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me, apparently the best pizza is actually in Florida. I don't know. I read it on Twitter today. Blame Basil.
Damn it, Kevin. Ugh.